Hi, I'm Skyler Palatnik. I'm a first-year grad student in the Physics and Astronomy department. So I do a combination of exoplanets and optics research, and what got me interested in that goes all the way back to when I was a kid. And I was super enthused by space and animals. And I think most people, when they think aliens, imagine humanoid or super intelligent species. But for me, I was just super excited to think about animals like alien lizards or alien bears that could be on other planets. And that kind of evolved into a more general interest in planets. And going into undergrad, I knew it was something I wanted to explore and research. So when I got involved as an undergrad, I immediately loved it and knew it was something that I would want to continue as a grad student. But on the other side, I was really interested in doing things hands-on and building devices. So to that effect, I actually did a master's after I graduated undergrad in nanotechnology engineering, where I learned how to build really tiny devices. And I love that too. So when I was coming to UCSB, I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to blend these two seemingly different interests together. But when I got talking with my advisor and discussing the idea of building fancy optical devices to detect planets or to help our ability to detect planets, I knew that was something that I would want to do. And since I've started, I've been loving it. So I guess something people might not expect to know about me is that I'm a competitive boxer. And I started when I was 10. My mom actually got me into it because she didn't want me getting picked on at school. And it started just as a way to stay in shape and get involved in sports, but eventually I really took a liking to it, and now it's become one of my big passions. And I was actually the captain of my undergrad team, and it's been a great way to meet a lot of very interesting new people, also to stay in shape, of course, and to make new friends, to learn how to kind of be disciplined and apply yourself to something, and something that I've been continuing in Santa Barbara.
And now presenting Skyler Palatnik, Physics, Imaging Exoplanets with Metasurfaces.
What do you get when you combine advanced optics, nanotechnology, and exoplanet observation? You get metasurfaces. You might not know what any of those words mean, but when I'm done explaining them, you'll be as excited as I am for the prospect of using metasurface optics to image exoplanets. So what are exoplanets? These are planets that orbit any star other than the sun. We found thousands, and motivating this search is the desire to find Earth 2.0, or another planet that can host life. Once we find this planet, the best way to understand its atmosphere, and thus what might be going on the ground, is through direct imaging, which involves blocking out the light from a star so we can see the planets orbiting it. This is why in the simulated image on the left, you can see a big black circle where a star would be. But you'll also notice that this image is incredibly noisy and has lots of aberrations. We'll never see Earth 2.0 at this rate. To do so, we need to improve our current systems, and one such way to do that is with metasurfaces. Metasurfaces are arrays of nanoscale structures that can transmit or reflect light, changing the size, the shape, the orientation, or the material of a particular nanostructure changes just how it manipulates light. And if you take thousands of these structures with different sizes, shapes, and orientations and distribute them in a particular pattern across a surface, you can manipulate light that goes through that surface in a way that is the combination of all the individual manipulations from each nanostructure. An example of the power of this tool is shown here in the form of a metasurface with an arrangement that can take an incoming signal and separate the different wavelengths or colors, sending them in different directions. Because the properties of the structures on a metasurface are so fine-tunable, you can achieve control that's unrivaled by conventional optics. And this is great for direct imaging, where you need every bit of control you can get to resolve objects as faint as Earth-sized planets. So my research focuses on integrating these devices into direct imaging systems. This has never been done before, as metasurfaces have never been used in astronomy at all, to my knowledge. So everything I'm doing is brand new, and I'm designing, testing, and hopefully implementing 3 devices that will improve or simplify current imaging systems. The first is a metasurface that will correct for aberrations too small for conventional optics to correct, but still negatively impactful to our imaging abilities. The second is a metasurface that will block starlight as well as convert the signal into one easier for computers to process, thus simplifying current systems by performing multiple functions at once. And it'll do this while operating with better performance than conventional tools. And the final application is a metasurface that will take an incoming signal and split it into 4 separate wavelength ranges, sending each to a different part of a detector, so that we can image a planet in multiple wavelengths simultaneously, but independently. Together, these applications will serve to introduce these fascinating devices to the field of astronomy, so they hopefully can be used in the future. And I hope that you guys are now as excited as I am to see that happen. Thank you.
Sophia Bailey. And Alyssa Lawson Award. First of all, the People's Choice goes to Skyler Palatnik. We have 2 runners-up, and these are in alphabetical order.